We are here with none other than Max Landis. Maximum Landis is here.
Oh, I shouldn't flip them off. Thank you for watching.
No, flipping off is like when you're at Comic-Con, it's like a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Are you putting beer into a wine glass, man?
Classiest thing I've seen today.
Living my own goddamn life, boys.
Welcome back to the Skybound live stream.
Am I supposed to have tweeted this?
I don't know.
You could do it now if you're not busy.
I got no briefing about this. I got an email saying that I was going to do this, and no one even asked me. So here we are. So here's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve.
How uninterested can we look?
What's the URL?
It's twitch.tv/Skybound.
Is that accurate?
Twitch.tv/
Slash that way?
Yes, Skybound.
Good.
The slash the other way will take you to the deep web.
Is that what
You just immediately have your identity stolen. You hit enter, your house falls down around you.
you get a notification
It
from your
just
bank?
implodes in on itself like poltergeist. Like that's what happens.
It falls into your computer, and then your computer folds up and goes into itself.
And then it shoots out into space like a little like star.
You make friends with it years later. You encounter it in the woods, and it reaches out to you. I remember you.
You used to watch porn on me.
It's in love with you. It tries to.
I came back because I was in love with
It tries to fuck you. The little star that used to be around. At first it's being really friendly, but then it gets more and more sort of like.
You just said the little star that used to be your house fell in love with you. Is this a new comic book idea for Skybound?
No.
Good.
That's too bad.
So the reason why Max Landis is here the reason why he's here.
I've been wondering why Max Landis is here for about 32 years.
Sounds like you need therapy.
I'm getting it.
Okay, so
Is this not therapy?
this is well, it's a
That's
little
why
bit
I'm
of
sitting
therapy.
like this.
Yeah, yeah.
To protect your balls.
Mike's gonna prescribe you Ativan, and then you're gonna get out of here.
Okay,
my move.
what's up?
So we're talking about your comic book, Green Valley. And here's the thing about Green Valley, Max.
Yeah.
I talked about this earlier on the stream. Mike loves Green Valley.
Look at that big ship.
Mike has read Green Valley. Whoa, holy shit.
Holy shit.
ship.
It's a very big.
Does that mean something's horrible?
Are we being attacked? Is this why all the birds are dying?
It's a very cool giant battle cruiser.
Yeah, it's really cool. Why didn't they put like Comic-Con shit on it?
They put it on the parked one. I bet those people in colorful shirts standing on it seem like that's the cast of Game of Thrones arriving. that thing is fucking cool.
And there's a full orchestra playing the Game of Thrones music on it.
The full orchestra playing Despacito.
And Bieber's forgetting the words again.
All right.
So we're talking about Green Valley, your comic.
Your hat
Skybound.
says, ask me about
Ask me about Green Valley, and I'm going to actually walk around the convention center wearing this hat. And I hope people ask me about Green Valley because there's only one piece of information that I know about Green Valley. Well, there's two pieces
And
of
that's
information.
I have read it.
I know that it's a Skybound comic, and I know that you wrote it.
Okay, so last night
Yeah, we talked. Yeah,
Last night, I was texting with one of my best friends, a girl named Whitney Moore. And I was having
Name
dinner
drop.
with my friend Zach, and we were having dinner, and Whitney was like, are you hungry? Do you want to come to dinner? She was like, do you want to get dinner with me? I was like, why don't you come join me? And she was like, okay, I'll be there in a half hour. So I'm like, okay. So I'm eating dinner, and Steve texts me, okay, I'm on my way. And I did not invite Steve to And he says, oh, and Whitney's coming too. So then Steve arrives with 7 people.
Yeah.
And they get their own table, not with me. So it's like, why do we even come to this restaurant?
Well, I didn't want to
told.
intrude.
Yeah,
We didn't want to intrude.
and then Steve tells me he's interviewing me today about my comic Green Valley, which he hasn't read.
Right.
And he says, I'm going to go home and read it now.
Right, because yes, that's exactly what I said. Because like a week ago, the Skybound people were like, "You're gonna interview Max Landis with Mike Falzone." I was like, "Great, what are we talking about?" Green Valley. I was like, "Heard of it? Can you send me Green Valley and then I'll read it and then I'll be ready for the interview?" And they were like, "Yeah." So they sent me this zip file that I could not open on my phone last night. So when I went to my hotel room, I was like getting ready to read 9 issues of Green Valley. I was very excited about it, and I couldn't open the files on my phone.
The important part is he was getting ready to read it.
Yeah, I was ready to read it. So anyway, this is a show where one of the hosts, didn't prepare for the guest. So
And the other host already had a terrific conversation.
We already had like a long interview about Green Valley.
Yeah.
So this is all on you now. I want you to start from the ground up.
So what do you think Green Valley is about?
well, I think it's about a beautiful continent.
Okay.
So you're 1 for 1, but that was luck.
I like that it starts so general that it's about an entire continent.
If I close my eyes, I see a land.
I've seen some of the beautiful art. I think the art is fantastic.
Does it seem like it takes place on a continent?
Yes, it does seem like it takes place on a continent and not a body of water.
Or an island.
Or an island, yeah. I think it's a period story, right? It's a period. It doesn't take place in our current time.
Green Valley is a story that doesn't take place in our time.
Yeah,
But does take place
during a period.
during a period on a continent.
On a continent. So guys, get that at skybound.com. It's a great story that Max wrote. It's a simple story, but
He's one of my close friends. He's a good friend of mine.
you got a lot of stuff out, Max, and you're here at Comic-Con with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with all the stuff you're doing.
Yeah, but I'm only promoting one of the things I'm doing.
Well, right now you are.
And this.
Yeah, okay.
So,
well, sure.
Steve, here's what I read from this.
Okay, all right.
So, do you remember when we were on drugs?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
And we were having this great time.
yeah.
And I said that someone was trying to plan something or
Right.
make something happen.
Right.
And you were like, I'm not sure. And Whitney was like, no, that's not true. And other people were like, maybe, I don't know.
Wow, I don't remember this at all.
This is as vague
We were
as
very,
the
we were very on
last story you
drugs.
told.
I take this as your revenge on me. Green Valley is a story about four friends in an indeterminate medieval period who were basically the Rolling Stones of knights. They were basically SEAL Team 6. They make, I'd say, a miscalculation, a very minor miscalculation based on past experience, and it costs them everything. And then a year later, basically their lives have been destroyed. The kingdom they were a part of is gone. All four of them are suffering massive personal crises, and their lives are basically spinning out. They're basically held together by like sticks and twigs emotionally. And then a thing happens that gives them a chance not for redemption and not for resolution, but a chance to once again be heroes. And they try to take that chance. And it turns out very differently than you might expect. And one of the things that's hard about Green Valley, and that was hard when I wrote it originally as a script, is that the premise of Green Valley is a twist within the story of Green Valley. So the story starts out seeming like it's going to be one type of story, and then a new character is introduced, and everything you were sort of seeing for the story changes based on that character's really first 4 lines of dialogue. The coolest thing about Green Valley, the thing I'm most proud of, is that the characters within the story never understand that a twist happened. We, as the audience, because of our familiarity with these types of stories, understand the mechanics of what's happening, understand why it's happening. We've seen it a million times. The characters never catch up to it, and instead treat every instance within the story as its own situation. They are not metatextually aware of the tropes of the type of story being told.
Because they don't know any better?
Because they don't know any better. Like, they don't recognize what the things in the woods are the way we do.
Yeah.
They don't recognize the way he speaks the way we do.
Yeah.
They don't even once they're seeing all the other things in his in the thing he has, they have no context for them.
Yeah.
They only place. It's really fun because it would be like if you did an alien story that starred aliens and was about a human invasion. And we'd understand what the humans are saying, but the aliens don't. And
Steve, you would love it.
Well, as soon as I figure out how to open up a zip file,
Yeah.
I will read it.
I had an image of them giving you one of those, remember those old, like, really thick
Yeah, the zip
the
discs.
zip discs?
Here you go, Steve. Read the comic.
Yeah, that's so rough. Skybound's struggling.
I've heard you talk about, like, this is one of your favorite things that you've ever written. Is it because of that?
I try not to say favorite things I've ever written anymore. I used to say that a lot.
But that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, like it sounds egomaniacal. Instead, I try to say I'm very proud of it, which still sounds bad. I think as a writer, I'm starting to realize your greatest asset is seeming like you don't even really like the things you wrote that much.
But isn't that the thing? Isn't that the cool thing is to pretend like you hate everything?
I think that's a thing a lot of writers do out of insecurity, just as a knee-jerk behavior.
Sure.
I don't know if it's I think that's a musician thing to be like, my old stuff sucks. But I think writers, a lot of the writers I've met are both on the defensive and the offensive about their work constantly. And they also will it's so funny, they'll talk down stuff in their own work as oh, it's just this, it's just to that. When in reality, it's very easy to pick out the bigger themes, the things that are actually going on in their minds when they wrote it. But they are uncomfortable. A lot of writers are uncomfortable when you point out the bigger subtext of what they're saying. Because an example is a writer might write a short story, and you read it, and you're like, this is a beautiful short story about being gay. And you're you as the writer are I think some people are hey, I'm not gay. Why'd you say this story is about being gay? I didn't mean this. It's just a story about two guys trapped on a spaceship.
And they happen to be fucking.
And they rely on each other, and they don't know how to. They rely on each other. They're like brothers. It's how come they touch each other so much?
Yeah.
I don't know.
well,
I don't know.
that part's
I don't know. It's just a fucking story about two guys on a spaceship.
It's like
simple.
a writer that's too defensive about an interpretation of his work.
Yeah, there are a lot of writers like that. I think they talk their work down because it's safer to talk down to your work than talk your work up. Because when you talk your work up, you are asking people to have a certain understanding and dialogue with the work that they might not have.
You think it's a little disrespectful to the people who may love it unconditionally to talk down about your work?
Yes. Yes, but I also think people can't help it. And a thing happens, a thing happened to me with the movie American Ultra, which I think is a good movie. And people do love that movie. But I am hesitant to talk publicly about how much I love that movie because of the critical response to it, which was super negative. And I feel it's so funny because I feel if I talk about how good that movie is, people will go, well, but, and I don't want to have to hear that.
Yeah.
And so it's safer for me to just talk about everything at one level.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Green Valley.
Dude, I love when an artist loves their work, even if it's not a critical. Everyone has their own opinions, and
oh, I'm a big fan of my stuff.
Oh no, we've hung out. No, but as well as you should be. We talked. I'll save you a little bit. We talked at great length about how much I loved even just the first couple pages of Green Valley because the dialogue between the characters is so natural, and as somebody who doesn't read a lot of comics, it immediately drew me in. And I think that's a really cool thing, especially when you're trying to maybe reach a new audience. I can give the first issue of that to anyone, and I almost guarantee they would finish all 9 issues.
Unless it was Steve.
Unless it was Steve. If it was on a zip file, unless you gave it to them on a zip file.
Depending on what year it is.
Green Valley, working in comics has been really interesting for me. Because what my work is very hard to see for the public. I mean, you have my YouTube stuff and not much else for actually seeing my work. Not many people read scripts. But with Green Valley and American Alien, but even more so Green Valley because it's just totally my own thing, it was really neat to have the freedom to really only have one collaborator, really just Giuseppe on Green Valley.
Yeah.
And just allow the story to come through exactly as I wanted it. There's something so freeing about that, and that automatically makes Green Valley much closer to my heart, than a lot of the stuff I'm doing because there aren't 5 levels of obfuscation. There aren't 20 fucking guys doing their interpretation of the script.
Yeah.
Can you? Sorry, Mike.
No, I wanted to cough more than I wanted to talk.
Good. Okay, good. You go ahead and cough really quick while I ask Max something.
Cool.
Do you think that Green Valley has the option to become, or the possibility, is it possible Green Valley could become a series or a film or
a movie?
Series of films.
It would be a movie. Green Valley really is. It really is a story. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And the turns and twists you take to get to the end are basically not even the turns and twists, but the way the characters react to what's happening to them and change within the story is the story. There isn't another. another story with those people doesn't occur to me immediately, because if you've read it, or if you haven't, the story is like very purpose-built to those characters to go through this specific experience. The specific experience the characters in the story go through answers, and when I say answers, I don't mean like therapeutically. I mean like it's not always good to have your questions answered, but it answers questions they were asking themselves, and in a very aggressive way and in a very unexpected way. So like, I think it's a movie. I've always thought Green Valley was a movie. I originally wrote it as a movie. But, you know, there are big, you know, it's a mostly realistic, it's a kind of, it starts out as a pretty realistic story about the Middle Ages, but then there are big effects in it. Like there's sequences that need money behind them. So the question of like, could Green Valley be a movie in this day and age of movies, where you know it's not, you know, it's not a studio film, because it's not. It's like a very good-natured story about dudes in a valley having a rough time with a bad situation, like
On a continent.
on a continent. Yeah. It's beautiful during a period. Could it be a movie? Yeah. I mean, like the big thing is that the you know, remember at the end with Gulliver and the big one?
Yeah.
Like, you put that at the end of a trailer, people are gonna go see the movie.
Absolutely.
So like, I don't want to ruin any of it for you.
Sure, yeah, please don't.
I love the idea that it could be one movie.
Yeah, one
You know,
movie.
like immediately when anything comes out, especially comic book things, you're like, well, there's so many issues of comic books. It's really cool to see, like, you know, if the first one does well, we can make 12 of these. But I love, like, I always wanted Cloverfield to be one movie, you know, until recently. And
Yeah.
it was just, if it was just a one monster movie, that would be awesome.
Yeah, but is the fucking other one, is it even really a sequel to Cloverfield?
Listen, we got a whole podcast.
Oh,
about
we'll
this
talk. We got a whole other way to do this, but really quick, I want to bring up in the chat. The 420 chef says he's trying to sell a watch, yo.
Oh man,
You want to speak to that?
where is the watch? I lost my watch, I lost my iPhone, I lost my wallet. I am basically Jason Bourne. I have a passport right now.
420 Chef has all
And
your
cash
shit.
and nothing else. I need a watch. I don't have one. This is my first time in 17 years, 18, 20 years, because I was, like 12 when I got my first watch. I fucking...
Was it like a Mario
the
Brothers watch? What kind of watch was it?
It was a watch that was given to me that I didn't want. It was made of metal, and it looked stupid, and it didn't fit my tiny wrist. Check out how dissed you guys just got right there.
What was the diss?
Wish G4 TV was still around.
Oh, Homes and Gardens Network? That's still around. Still around.
Oh, House Hunters? Yeah, they're still doing those.
What do they talk about in there?
You know, it seems like they're kind of just talking amongst themselves.
That sounds right.
Like us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're just
Someone
like
was
us.
really upset that we were talking about. Someone was like, "I wish they'd talk about something. You know, it's just jokes only they understand."
Yeah, do you guys want to talk about Michonne from The Walking Dead?
Yeah. Get in on. Talk about Michonne.
I think Walking Dead was good until it had a character with a samurai sword in it.
Really? What
Listen,
happened?
when has the Samurai
I
Sword
like
ever
Walking
made
Dead.
anything worse?
In almost everything.
Full.
Yeah.
What was that game with the fruit?
Oh, Fruit Ninja made Samurai Sword, made it better.
See?
What else was helped by a samurai sword?
What is
Well,
that
I mean,
show?
Kill Bill has the
Yeah, but
like,
Kill Bill is about samurai swords.
I guess.
What's
so.
that show on the History Channel where they make samurai swords and they cut pigs in half?
Oh, it's called Samurai Swords.
You know what I'm talking about? They make weapons and then they
Were you watching an infomercial and you thought it was a show?
I had a fever the other day. Just left the TV on.
What about Shaun of the Dead? Did Shaun of the Dead have a samurai sword? No.
Nope.
That new Schick commercial has a samurai sword. in it.
Yeah, I don't know.
What else you would talk about? What I could listen to Mike and Steve talk about Agent of Batman when?
Can I ask you a question just for my own things?
Agent of Batman when? You'll know soon.
Oh, you were talking about You were teasing.
That's
that.
not. I don't promote DC Comics stuff on the Skybound thing. This is the Skybound thing.
You're thinking about Skybound After Dark.
This is the Skybound. What's Skybound After Dark?
this new
Mike
program.
takes his shirt off.
Talking about DC Comics with my shirt off.
Softcore set.
Yeah.
When you're making stuff, do you ever see like merchandise and like cool collectible stuff?
I mean, I assume there will be all that shit for Bright, but I don't have a piece of that.
Yeah, but do you like ever think of that stuff?
Do I ever want stuff?
Yeah.
Constantly.
What
Have
would
you
you make
kept
for
stuff?
Green
Yeah.
Valley? Is the
Oh, that's
long?
Oh, what would I make for Green Valley?
Yeah, because I would buy most of it.
Dude, I'd want the statue, like one of those like statues they always make of like the T-Rex charging Gulliver,
That's cool.
where he's on the horse,
Yeah.
jousting it. Spoiler, by the way. But like
Steve, close your ears.
there, I've never had
Is there a way to?
I've never had a toy made of anything I've done.
I think this would be the thing.
I've always wanted that.
like cool, like detailed vinyls of
Yeah.
like, the dudes.
Yeah, dudes, or
Yeah, man.
even just the Hellenist, like the ship, like all that shit.
Yeah.
Green Valley 2, they're asking about.
I don't know if there'll be a Green Valley 2. I might do another comic with Skybound if David Alpert lets me.
I've heard of him.
Would you do a prequel to Green Valley?
No.
Because that's the only thing you can.
No. I mean, like, I've thought about doing Day at the Hill, which was more elaborated on in the original Green Valley script. And Day at the Hill was when Ralphus and Bertwald met. Mm-hmm. Basically, two of the main characters of Green Valley used to be generals in opposing armies. And then basically this thing happened where one of them, Ralphus, was ordered to attack a castle on a hill that Bertwald was commanding. And Bertwald came down the night before when Ralphus was going up and was like, hey, I surrender, I'm here. Ralphus, if you attack the castle on the hill, I'm the leader of the castle on the hill, but if you attack it, all your guys will die. You outnumber us 3-1, but you won't be able to get through the walls and you'll all die. So don't follow the king's orders and leave, and I'll come with you, and I'll surrender myself, but don't attack it, because if you attack my castle, all your guys will die. I will surrender myself to save all your guys, because I want this kingdom to be united. And Ralphus was like, you'll surrender yourself as the leader of your tribe to come back to the king just to stop me from attacking you. So you're afraid. And Bertwald's like, no, all your guys will die if you attack me. And Ralphus was like, go fuck yourself. Go back to your castle. We're going to fucking take your castle. And so Bertwald went back to his castle. Then Ralphus was like spending all the night like, why the fuck did he do that?
He was pretty sure about it.
It like bothered him.
Yeah, and so he went to his king and he was like, I don't think we should fucking attack the castle. And the king said, no, you have to. And so they started to attack the castle, and all the guys started dying because they were getting archered like mercilessly. So Ralphus stopped the fight and said, stop, we stop, and defected from the king. So his army that was attacking the castle now protected the castle, and the king the king who basically ordered his army to death against the orders of his general, ended up with no army and nothing.
Oh, wow.
And so there was a battle in which basically no one won. The army just became one army and left the king. and then that army with King Michael ended up becoming the most powerful army in the world with Bertwald and Ralphus at the head of it. But like there was this very complicated thing that happened where Bertwald was like, all of you will die, don't do this. And Ralphus was like, no, we're gonna anyway. Actually, maybe we shouldn't. Hey, king, should we? And the king was like, do it or I'll kill you. And Ralphus was like, okay.
King's
No.
eating grapes.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
And I always wanted to kind of write that because it sounds like a historical thing that could have actually happened.
Yeah, yeah.
It's your classic can't beat 'em, join 'em type scenario. It's the first time that ever happened.
It's also the first time a king's ever fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, kings, normally, perfect, safe. Oh, are we done?
We're getting the light.
Do somersaults?
What a dumb...
Do
Oh my God.
What do you think about Ed? You're going to apologize to Ed Sheeran, Max?
This is the perfect opportunity. He's here. Let's bring him out.
Ed?
Ed, are you here?
No,
He's in the bathroom.
The Ed Sheeran thing is really interesting because I'm a person who has been cyberbullied a lot by a lot of high-profile, high-follower accounts. Like I've had people tweet mean shit about me. But I never imagined, number one, that the Ed Sheeran tweets would get as much traction as they did, or that he would quit Twitter the next day. Because I wasn't the only one tweeting Ed Sheeran
Certainly
stuff.
not. Certainly not.
But I did have like the most retweets and like...
There's always the straw that breaks the camel's back.
I feel like it would be ridiculous to say that I drove Ed Sheeran off Twitter.
But I've also heard that
But
he's
then there's-
deleted it before.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's fine.
So.
But there is like a little voice in my head that is like, well, maybe.
Well, now's your chance. Speak directly to Ed.
In my head, I was like, didn't that guy tweet about Chronicle? Like, I was like, oh no.
You're making him into the bad guy.
I'm
That guy called me a piece of shit once, right?
very nervous about hurting people's feelings online. I'm trying to be more positive online just generally.
I think it's working. I think it's working.
Ed, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You broke eye
Ed,
contact?
I'm so sorry. I hurt your feelings. You have a lot going for you, and a lot of people have been dealing with depression in unhealthy ways publicly recently. And I just want to say you should stay strong. Here's to you.
There you go. That makes it genuine.
Well, nice work, Max. Thank you for that. That's a sweet message for everyone, I think.
Ed, don't be on Game of Thrones this Sunday, or I will tweet at you again that you shouldn't be on Game of Thrones. I will do it all again. I will start from zero. So this apology is actually more of a threat. I apologize to you for now, unless you're on Game of Thrones.
We were in a really nice place.
Yeah, we were. All right, we'll pick up Green Valley from Skybound. And Max, thanks for
Please.
joining us, man. And
It's so good.
I'm going to just go to the Skybound booth
Hey,
and
Max,
buy Green Valley.
I pirated American Alien and liked it so much I bought the hardback.
We're going to find that man's IP address.
2017. Thank you.
We're going to track him down and send him a box of dead birds.
We're going to send him a signed VHS.
All right, well, thank you guys. Stay tuned for more on the Skybound live stream.